Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about how sexual sin keeps you in bondage. This is something that we must talk about. You know, people feel uncomfortable talking about sexual sin and stuff, but it is something that has to be discussed. That's how the enemy keep people in these cycles, because people are scared to talk about it. One of the ways that sexual sin keeps you in bondage is that it creates this yearning, within you. And after a while, that yearning becomes a camouflaged addiction. What do I mean? So it starts off as, once you lose your virginity, it starts off as some type of exploration kind of thing, right? You're trying to figure out what's going on. And over the years, it creates this yearning. It creates a yearning. After that yearning period, it then turns into an addiction, but you don't even know it. You don't even know it. That's why I say camouflage, because it is hidden. That's what the enemy does. He gets you hooked onto something, and that something turns into something normal after doing it for so long. Like, it's normal, you know what I mean? Like, you begin to truly believe, like, oh, well, this is a part of my life, and this is completely acceptable, and this is just who I am and what I do. But that is so dangerous, because it creates this cycle that just keeps going and going and going. Another way that sexual sin keeps you in bondage is it has this way of really making you believe that you can't live without it. It really does. Like, I just do this random experiment with someone that you trust and someone that trusts you. Just ask them, and that they're sexually active, just like, could you live without sex? 9 times out of 10, people gonna look at you like, what? It's like you done said something. What? Oh, no. No, I can't do that. No. Why do you get that reaction? Why is that a response from most people? It's because they truly believe that they can't live without it. It's almost as if, it's so crazy. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy how the enemy flips stuff around and just perverts it. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I don't have time to go into that, but it literally has this way of making you truly believe that you can't live without it. And that reinforces the cycle, that reinforces the bondage, and that keeps you bound. A prisoner to the enemy. A real prisoner. You can't see the prison. You think you live in life. You think that you're free. You think that you're, living life fully. But really, you are bound. You're in bondage. Another way that sexual sin keeps you in bondage is that if you are living fleshly, if you are living a carnal life and you into, sensuality and pleasing your flesh, sexual sin will definitely keep you in bondage. Why? Because when you do not let the Spirit lead you, when you do not live a Spirit-led life, you give access, you give a right to the enemy to come in and tell you what to do, tell you how to live, and present these things to you that make you fall. So what's the one major thing about sex? Why do people have sex? Because it feels good. That is the main reason why people have sex, because it feels good. Therefore, when you are having premarital sex, when you are having sex outside of marriage, when you are having sex when you are not authorized to do so, the sensual, pleasurable, carnal, fleshly responses are so strong because it's so lethal. It's so lethal. If you could really see what is happening in the spirit realm when you lay down with somebody outside of your God-ordained husband or wife, you would run for your life. If you really saw what was taking place in the spirit realm when you have premarital sex, you would lose your mind. It's that serious. So when it comes to sexual sin and bondage, one of the main things that the enemy uses is making sure that it is very pleasurable, because he knows that, okay, if I get them hooked on the feeling, he got you. He got you. And once I figured that out, once I learned that, and once God entrusted me with this information, it made me view sex totally different. You know, I want you to know that I am disgusted at the fact that I had premarital sex, that I engaged in sex. I am disgusted at it just because I know how detrimental and how bad it is. What the enemy wants to do, he wants you to believe that it's your body, that it's your way, that it's your life, and that can't nobody tell you what to do with your body, and that you're grown, and that you can make decisions on your own, just so that you can stay in bondage. Not only with sexual sin, but other things as well. But mainly sexual sin. That is one of the biggest lies that the enemy tells. That is your body. You are not your own.